Hello students, so welcome again. So today we are going to discuss about the next topic, that is the plant genetic engineering. So basically the plant genetic engineering or genetic engineering we can say, or we can say it's as a recombinant DNA technology. Okay, so it is, we can say as it is a manipulation or alterations of the genetic structure of a single cell or organisms. The simple we can say it is a addition, deletions or manipulation of a single trait in a we can say in an to produce a desired result one. Okay, or to create desired changes in the organisms. So more commonly it involves the transfer of a gene from a one organism to the another. So basically plant genetic engineering, it is a technique to produce modified DNA molecules containing new combinations of genes in plants, or manipulation of genes in a plant's genome for desired traits. Okay, so we can say in 1972 or 73 the Stanley Cohen and Herbert Boyer, so they were the scientists who performed the first experiment in genetic engineering. So they combined, they took an effort to develop a technique to clone a segment of DNA molecules. So that is to create a recombinant DNA. So this technology brought a great revolution in the biotechnology industry. So this genetic engineering, it is a set of techniques we can say that enables DNA from different sources and which are identified, isolated and recombined, so that new characteristics can be introduced into an organism. So this modern technique aims to rearrange the sequence of DNA in gene using artificial methods, such as we can say for example the genes and the segments of DNA from one species which is taken and then recombined and put into the another species we can say. So this genetic engineering in plants which may be done to improve certain natural characteristics of value, to increase resistance to disease or damage, and to develop certain novel characteristics, for example to change color, size, texture, resistance, we can say resistance to the insect pest, then abiotic stress tolerance and herbicides resistance. So these are the some important topic. And then what are the tools of genetic engineering? So basically the biomolecules or or the enzymes, or we can say special structure of cells or cell organelles, or we can say a specific region or part of that of a cell required to produce a genetic engineered product, which are said to be the tools of the genetic engineering. So basically there are two types of tools used in genetic engineering. That is, first one is the DNA modifying enzymes, and the next that is a vector one. So DNA modifying enzymes, so this DNA we can say manipulating enzymes can be grouped into four broad classes. Okay, so we can say depending on the type of reactions that they catalyzes. Okay, so the first one, that is the nucleases, then ligase and polymerase. So these are the three types we can say. So the first one, that is nucleases, which we can say which are enzymes which cut then shorten or degrade nucleic acid, that is DNA and RNA molecules. So this degrade DNA molecules by breaking the phosphodiester bonds that link one nucleotide to the next in a DNA strand. Okay, so we can say according to the scientist, that is Hamilton Smith at 1970. So the Johns Hopkins medical schools, they are working this, the first resistance enzymes and the enzymes that cuts DNA at a very specific nucleotide sequences. So over the next few years, several more restrictions enzymes will be isolated. So these are also known as the molecular scissors or molecular scalpels we can say. So according to this, there are two kinds of nucleases. First is the exonucleases and the second, that is the endonucleases. So this exonucleases, so they make a cut at one end of a nucleic acid and remove nucleotides from the end of DNA molecules. So that is from 5' to the 3' one. Okay, and the next, that is the endonucleases, or the other name, that is the restriction enzymes, we can say. So they make a cut at the middle of, we can say, or internal region of the nucleic acid, and are able to break internal phosphodigester bonds within the DNA molecules. Okay, so restriction enzymes, or we can say, or the restriction endonucleases, that is a restriction to cut. So it is an enzymes that cut DNA at a specific recognition nucleotide sequences known as a restriction sites. So these restrictions enzymes or the endonucleases are commonly classified into three types, that is the type 1, type 2 and the type 3. So which differ in their structure and functions. So to cut DNA, all restriction enzymes make we can say make two cuts, one each in a sugar phosphate backbone. So that is each strand, okay, of the DNA double helix. So this we can say restriction sites or the restriction recognition sites are locations of one of, we can say, locations on a DNA molecules, so containing specific sequences of nucleotides which are recognized by the this RE, that is the restriction enzymes. So these are generally known as the we can say palindromic sequences or palindrome sequence. Okay, so this palindromic sequences, it is a sequence of a nucleic acid, that is the DNA or the RNA, which is same on the 5' to 3' strand or 3' to 5' strand of a DNA double helix one. Okay, so this restriction enzymes can cut the DNA double helix into two fragments by we can say as a result to produce a either sticky or blended ends one. In the picture we can see this type 2 restriction endonucleases are most commonly used in the genetic engineering experiments. So the most popular enzymes, that is the ECO, we can say R1 or RB is there, then HIND3 is there, HIND third one is there. So there are again PISTL, PST, I-digest is there. So there are many ones. So more than, we can say, 300 or 3000 restriction enzymes have been studied till today. So almost 600 of these are available which are commercially used in the market. Okay, so these are the some of the enzymes, that is the nucleases. Then the next, that is the ligases, which is a ligation to join one, we can say. So these ligases are enzymes which join nucleic acid molecules together. Okay, so in the cells, the functions of the DNA ligase is to repair single stranded breaks. Okay, that is the discontinuities. So that we can say that arises a double stranded DNA molecules during this age. For example, we can say DNA replications. Okay, so this DNA ligase from most organisms can also join together into two individual fragments of a double stranded DNA. So the final step is, we can say, construction of a recombinant DNA molecules, which is the joining together of the vector molecules and the DNA to be cloned one. So this process is referred to as a ligation, and the enzymes that catalyzes the reaction is called as a DNA ligase one. Okay, now the third one, that is in the picture you can see this polymerizes. So to synthesize or to form a polymers, DNA polymerase are enzymes which synthesizes new strands of DNA complementary to an existing DNA or the RNA template. So most polymerase can functions only if the template process of the that is a double stranded region that acts as a primer for the initiations of polymerization. So different types of DNA polymerase are used, we can say, commonly in genetic engineering. So the DNA polymerase first, second, third are the observed in E. coli ones. So in addition to these three major enzymes, other manipulating enzymes which are used in the genetic engineering are modifying enzymes, we can say. So they are alkaline phosphate, then polynucleotide, terminal deoxynucleotides, that is a transferase also. So these are the some tools. So tools of genetic engineering, that is a vector one. Okay, so this vector, so these are the molecules which carry genes or DNA fragments. So the desired genes or the genes interest or the insert into the host cell. So most commonly bacteria, they are also known as the molecular vehicles. So the DNA molecules need to display several features to be able to act as a vector for gene cloning. So there are types of we can say vectors are there. So there are different types of vectors used in the genetic engineering, that is plasmid, that is we can say PBR322, PUC8, TI plasmid, RI plasmid are there. Then bacteriophage is there, that is a lambda is there, then M13 is there. Okay, then we can say cosmets and fragments are there, then bacterial artificial chromosomes are there, that is BSC there, then Y, that is the yeast artificial chromosomes, then plant and animal viruses. So that is a plasmid first. So this is the types of vector, that is plasmid one. So plasmid are circular molecules of DNA that leads an independent existence in the bacterial cells. So they are also known as we can say autonomously replicating mini chromosomes. Okay, so the plasmids almost always carry one or more genes which are responsible for useful characteristics displayed by the host bacterium. For example, we can say a plasmid carrying antibiotic resistance genes. So in the laboratory, antibiotic resistance is often used as a we can say selectable marker to ensure that bacteria in a culture contain a particular plasmid only. Okay, now the next, that is the bacteriophages. Okay, so which are commonly known as the phages are the viruses that especially infect we can say bacteria. So like other viruses, phages are very simple in structure, consisting we can say merely of a DNA or the RNA molecules carrying a number of genes, including several for replications one of the phases, surrounded by a protective coat or cospids made up of protein molecules. So the main types of phages structures, that is a head and the tail one is that. Okay, the filamentous M13, this is the picture you can see, bacteriophages one. Okay, so these are the some tools of the genetic engineering. So thank you very much, and please do not spit in public places, as well as don't allow others to spit on the public places. So thank you very much.